All right, Performance Motorsports Network listeners, on the Cushion Media Group fans, and Burning Rubber Radio fans. The Throttle Shane Cottle has decided to grace us with his presence this morning on this day number 5 of the Indy Race Parts 2014 Chili Bowl Spotlight Show. Man, I can't get enough of throwing you under the bus, Throttle.
Oh, that's all right. I'm pretty tough. I can handle it.
I figure you'll pay me back once you get to Indiana and we go slam them beers, man. All right, brother. You had the day off yesterday from doing this show, and I know you had to be thanking your lucky stars that I gave up texting you after a little while yesterday morning, man. Yeah, it's probably a big relief. But anyway, man, what was you up to, man? What you been up to the last couple of days? We haven't talked to you.
We just been hanging out and, just laying around resting.
I'm going to read between the lines on that one, man, but we'll leave it right there, brother. All right, let's talk about, if you don't mind, like I said, it's been a couple of days, and everybody knows it's been a couple of days since we talked to you. So I want to back up to Wednesday night, and, you were there watching and everything, and, of course, we talked to you after Tuesday, your run Tuesday. And you've seen the track conditions on Wednesday night. Anything that surprised you with that?
They did a little better on Wednesday night than they had it for the Tuesday night. And, it's so far they've had 3 different racetracks for us. So, we'll see what happens tonight, what they do to it. And maybe that'll give us a better idea how they prepare it for Saturday.
Now, looking at that, you're right. It's been 3 different tracks all week, and you and I have had some pretty good discussions about, obviously it's a temporary track, so it changes every year. But like you were saying, there's just something a little different this year. Going into that, the racing out there is a little different this year too, man. It seems to me, what we're hearing in the social media world is it's a little bit rougher out there this year. There's no giving going on. It's all taken, which that's just the Chili Bowl, man. It's a big race. Everybody takes it, but at any rate, man, do you see the racing as a little bit different this year also?
Yeah, it is a little bit rougher. I think it's, like you say, it's a Chili Bowl and everybody's, not here to make friends, so it's been a little rough.
It has been a little rough, that's for sure. All right, we've seen Sammy struggle a little bit, for Sammy Swindell anyway, struggle a little bit on Wednesday night and had to come up through and work his way through. About won the race, but it was pretty damn cool to see Caleb Armstrong pick up the win Wednesday night. But, and then Kevin last night with the flat tire and coming through the CE, and he really flew through the A main coming through the pack, but Chris Bell flexed some muscle last night. Tell me about what you're thinking about that. I mean, are people racing them harder, or is it just that, what we always see, the racers have kind of leveled the field out with the cars that's out there this year, like for you, instance, bringing the experimental stuff out there?
Yeah, definitely the people they're going to race them hard just because, they're tired of them winning. I mean, used to think you come out here, you're running for second or third, and you got to beat the Swindells, but everybody's got everything, and they're going to race them hard. And but they've had some issues, and Kevin came and overcame his, and so did Sammy. But they're still fast, and they'll be up there at the end.
I think Indy Race Parts team's got something for them Saturday night, man. You don't have to answer that one. I'll just throw that one out there. I know what your answer would be. Tell me about it, the Indy Race Parts team, man. Some of your teammates, I know, we talked about this, and you all are kind of separated a little bit, but Sheldon run last night, and, and I don't have my list sitting here with me, Shane, but you've had a lot of teammates running throughout the week. Have you learned anything? Have you talked to them or anything like that?
No, not really. Sheldon ran last night. He kind of had a bad deal. He was running third in the B main, and they had a late race yellow, and he probably should have moved to the top, but he didn't know that, so he got past there at the last lap and ended up 4th or 5th, I think it was, and he didn't make the A main, so he was kind of, discouraged about that. But so he's going to have a little struggle making it to the big race tomorrow. Tomorrow. And Jack runs tonight, so.
Have you got? Do you talk? You know, you and I, when we first started on the preview show, we talked about Jack and you and sharing the setup thing, and him being a wing guy, and you being primarily a non-wing guy, or any you know like that. But how many cars exactly? Do you know how many cars Bernie has out there? Uh, Kind of like directly, you know, like you and Jack and Sheldon, or are there more cars than that out there with him?
He's actually got 5 cars out here.
Okay.
But he's only really taking care of 3 of them. So.
Okay, I got you. I know there's a lot of cars out there with the Indy race parts on there, you know what I mean? But I wasn't exactly sure how many was under the tent there. All right, let's talk about you, man. Let's talk about you and your team. What are you doing today to get ready for tomorrow, man? Tomorrow's going to be a super long day with the alphabet soup starting. You know, and I'm not trying to overlook the features tonight. I mean, there's some heavy hitters in the field tonight, so we're going to get some more answers as to how tomorrow's going to play out. But with that not being part of the equation right now, what are you looking for tomorrow, man? What are you going to be doing today to prepare?
Actually, we'll just probably go over the car, nut and bolt it, and check and see if everything's free. And like I said the other day, we found that we had a bent drive line, so we had to fix it, and we'll just watch the track and then make sure and see what we got to do for tomorrow, and hopefully we can put that thing in the A.
I think you're going to put it in the A, man. Looking at you, we've talked about how we've had 3 different tracks, and quite possibly we're going to have something different tonight. Does that kind of, I mean, obviously it throws kind of a screwball into the deal, and tomorrow's a little different with all the action that's going to be on the track. But how does it, are you really even paying attention to what's going on with the track, with the 3 different instances, and then come tomorrow, you just kind of average it out and wait till the last minute to put your fine tuning on it?
Yeah, we watch it pretty close just to see how they are preparing it, and how much water and how deep they till it up, and that gives us a better idea what it will be like. So last night it was a little rough last night, so hopefully it's not like that tomorrow.
I hope not, man. I hope not. Although it kind of puts you back home running in Indiana, though, if it starts rutting up and gets a little rough, won't it?
Yeah, it definitely be that way.
All right, we probably should have said that, but we did. At any rate, man. All right, let's go personal for a minute, Shane. I know you probably won't throw too much out there, man, but what you been doing to occupy your time, man?
We just been hanging out, like last night they have a little place we go to on Thursday night. It's a dance place. Everybody goes and hangs out and boot scoots.
Oh, you know what? There is something I need to ask you about. Something about a purple tank top?
Oh, yeah, that was real priceless.
Tell me about the purple tank tops, man. You know people get a laugh out of this, but it was all for a good cause, so go ahead.
It was definitely. It was the kickball game for the cancer, and they had a purple tank top, which was the girls' purple tank top, by the way. And if you did something wrong, or somebody like Kevin Swindell told me to pay $100 for me to wear it, and I said, well, I'll pay $150 that I don't wear it, and it ended up getting more expensive, and so I ended up having to put it on, and I wore it for quite a while, and it was quite entertaining.
That it was, man. We ended up seeing at the end of the night Gary Selsey with it on, and I think in total it raised, what was it, like $7,100 or something like that for the Kick It Foundation, which is awesome, man. And
yeah.
That's what's so cool about our racing, Shane, and about you grassroots racers, man. And it's things like that, and it's stuff that doesn't get the publicity that I think it deserves, man. It shows the personality of you guys, and all the good things that you do as a racing community, man. And it's commendable what you do and how you do that. But I have to ask, what did you do? What was your penalty, man? I heard rumors that it was that you threw the ball at somebody's head or something, man. So let's clear that up, man.
Well, luckily I didn't kick anybody in the head this year, like a couple years ago.
That was the big deal, man. I know there was a social media buzz, like, oh no, the throttle's kicking the ball, oh no, So but at any rate, man, that's a good deal out there.
Yeah.
So what's on tap for tonight, brother? You gonna go watch some racing, casinos, Have you visited that old Smoky Shack yet?
I have not. Nope. We'll probably just hang out. We got to run tomorrow, so we'll just go watch the races and then just come back to the room and hang out probably.
All right, man. You sound a little stuffed up. Is that chili bowl flu catching up with you?
It's all the dust and stuff in there, and the fumes just fogs me up every time.
All right, man. We'll get you back to here to Indiana and get you running that non-wing sprinter, and we'll see what happens this year. But all right, Shane, it's come that time, man. Let's do it again. Let's spit out who's writing the checks, brother.
Indy Race Parts, Butler Built Seats, Spike Chassis, Hoosier Tire, Simpson Racing, and like without them we can't do it. So we appreciate everything, all the help.
That's a fact, man. All right, Shane, we're going to get out of here, and I guess the next time we'll talk to you is we're not going to do a show tomorrow. Just because it's Alphabet Soup Day and you guys are going to be so busy. Don't want to be bothering you guys when you're working. You know what I'm saying? So the next time we'll talk to you will be Sunday, and in our wrap-up show. So just want to tell you, good luck, man, and put that thing in the A. Bring a golden driller back here to Indiana. But be safe, brother. Race smart, race hard, and keep at least the right rear on the ground.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later, Shane. All right, that was Shane, the Throttle Cottle, out in Tulsa at the 2014 Chili Bowl Nationals in the number 71 C, I think, Indy Race Parts. We're going to call it the experimental Indy Race Parts midget, but we'll be right back after these messages.
If you're a gearhead, you probably go online to those hot rod superstores, drooling over the chrome and speed goodies until you find just the right item for your muscle car, tuner car, truck. But what do you do when it comes to fixing the mom mobile? If you're like most do-it-yourselfers, you head to the strip mall parts store and talk to the "Do you want fries with that?" kid behind the counter. Hold on, Bunky. Did you stop to think where those chain stores are getting the parts that you're installing in the vehicle that's used to transport your family everywhere? They get the cheapest suppliers they can find to sell you the parts at bargain prices. Their limited lifetime warranties? What a joke. Remember the last time Mom's car broke down? You heard about that one for weeks. Don't take that chance again. Excelsior Racing has the quality parts you need for your family vehicle. Parts that you can install knowing you're getting the best for your family. Excelsior Racing. Quality parts, personalized service, affordable pricing, fast to you direct. Excelsior Racing. Online at excelsiorracing.com or call 502-909-2034.
And we're back on the Indy Race Parts 2014 Chili Bowl Spotlight Show on the Performance Motorsports Network by On the Cushion Media Group and Burning Rubber Radio. And we have caught up with somebody that has eluded us this week. And actually, he's been concentrating, man, so we've been leaving him alone. But we caught up with him this morning. A wore-out Sheldon Baby Hoddenchild. How you doing this morning, Sheldon?
Oh, pretty good.
I had to throw that nickname out there. Ro Cowan over on the Red Dirt page calls you Baby Hod, so I thought I'd throw it out there and see what kind of reaction I got out of you.
Nah, I don't know about that nickname.
I agree with you, man. I agree. So, all right, man. Let's talk about last night. Let's jump right into it, brother. We haven't talked in a while. We got a lot to talk about today, and there's a lot of people out there that want to hear from you. So let's talk about last night. Let's go to the heat race, man. Tell me what happened.
I had a pretty good starting spot in the heat. I was starting fourth, and I was looking forward to getting up through there and try and win the heat race to get some passing points. But unfortunately, we had a little motor trouble in the heat race, and it just really wouldn't take off. So on the starts, I just get ran into, but we ended up salvaging a fourth out of that. So it could have ended up worse. But we didn't get any passing points, so that put us on the tail one of the qualifiers. And then in the qualifier, we still were having a little bit of motor trouble, and started 10th and ended up finishing 7th. So we got a couple passing points there, and then I went to a B main, ended up starting 5th in the B main, I think, and they took 4, and we got the motor running a little better for the B, and I ran around the bottom the whole time, running in 3rd in the transfer spot, and then white flag, I got passed on the top by 2 guys, so that was a pretty big bummer. Didn't make it in the feature, so you know, kind of messed us up the whole week now. But just got to see where it puts us on Saturday and go from there.
I think you'll be all right, man. You'll probably be pretty deep Saturday. But have they? Obviously, you know, it was late last night. You guys going to head to the track and try to figure out what's going on with the motor today?
Well, we kind of figured it out last night there before the B main, but
Okay.
it was just a fueling problem. But they got it figured out now, so we should be all right. Just it's a bummer that we had to deal with that anyways, but you know, things like that happen.
It's gremlin time. That kind of stuff, it seems to always show its face out there at the Chili Bowl. That's for sure. Now you brought up a good point, and you know, it seems like any small issue is magnified out of the Chili Bowl, isn't it?
Oh yeah, just something small like that. You know, kind of ruined the weekend, and then but in the B main, I can't blame it on the car. It was definitely my fault. I should have been running the top in 3 and 4, but you know,
Hindsight's always 20/20, Sheldon. Man, don't beat yourself up too bad for it, man. You know, just chalk it up to experience. You're a young cat, man. You'll be all right. You're a gasser. All right, now, what are you thinking about today, man? Obviously, it's kind of obvious what's on your mind today, and that's the racing last night. But if we can move on from that a little bit, and hopefully we'll try to cheer you up here a little bit, man. What are you going to be doing today? You going to go clean the car up, go through it, nut it, bolt it, and get it ready for tomorrow, or what's up?
we'll just go to the track with my dad today, and he qualifies today, so go hang out with him, and hopefully he can win his prelim night. So my dad's always been fast here, so it's definitely possible. Last year he ran third on his prelim night, so hopefully he can do it again.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. We just got done talking to Shane Cottle, and we was actually talking about you and your dad. So I kind of figured your ears might be burning a little bit, man. But you're right. Your dad rolls off tonight. There's a really tough field of cars tonight. You know, the lineup tonight, a lot of heavy hitters in there tonight. Your dad being one of them. Did he learn? Did you pass on any information to him last night from your run?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he's been doing it so long, he knows. So, and personally, I don't really think any night's stacked more than the other. You know, I think they're all pretty much stacked, and
right.
When you got someone like my dad going in there, I don't think it matters a bit. So, he'll be just fine.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Sheldon. Every heat race, every CB, you know, all aim. It doesn't matter. Every time you hit the track, it's stacked. It seems like out there. But moving on to that, you know, we keep hearing that the track conditions every night's been different every night so far this week. Have you seen that, or have you noticed that?
Yeah, definitely. The first night was a little slicker than most, and the night before me, the track was pretty much perfect. And then, you know, last night track was pretty good too. The bottom wasn't quite as much there, but the top was definitely really good. So, you know, they pretty much had the track nice and racy every night.
Now, I've got a question for you, Sheldon, and it might be kind of tough to answer, but I think the fans, you know, the Sheldon Haudenschild fans would want to know this. We know you're kind of down this morning, and you know, kind of beating yourself up with your answers that you just said, and how are you going to? I think I know how you're going to answer this, being a racer myself, you know. But I just want you to tell your fans out there, how are you going to shake this off and get ready to go for tomorrow, man?
Well, you know, it's pretty easy, you know. Just see where I started. It don't really matter. Whatever race I'm in, I'm going to take that as my feature, and you know, it could be my last race at the Chili Bowl this week. So take that as my feature and pass as many cars as I can, and try to move to the next one and see where that puts me in that one. So you know, last year I made it from the C and into the B and missed it by one spot. So anything's really possible from the alphabet soup.
I love that answer, Sheldon. I love that, and I think that's why your fans love you, man. Is 100% all the time, man. Leave it all out on the track and let the chips fall where they may. You know that's a cool attitude to have, and that's a very positive attitude to have. Proud of you for saying that, by the way, for what it's worth, man. Let's talk about. Has there been anything this week? I want to use you kind of like as a reporter for a minute, if we can, Sheldon, and kind of look into your mind for a minute. So, looking at the racing this week, is there any moments that really stand out to you that that are at the forefront of your mind that happened this week so far?
Not really. I mean,
it's just been
you got all your big guys still in there. I mean, Sammy, he did a good job and went from 7th to 2nd the night before. Kevin came all the way from the C to the I think 5th in the feature last night. So, I mean, you have all your heavy hitter guys in there still. So, Saturday night's going to be stacked.
That's a fact. It sure is. Now, you're part of that outlaw clan. Obviously your dad, and so you've grown up around those guys. Do you see Sammy, like you said, Sammy come up through the field on Wednesday night? We watched Kevin do it last night, overcome some issues, and come up through the field last night. Do you see this as being a year that maybe somebody other than a Swindell wins, or what do you? I mean, obviously, I know you want it to be your dad, but in the grand scheme of things, do you see this as the year?
I mean, it's really hard to say. I mean, Kevin and Sammy always have their cars really good, and they're going to be there towards the end of the race. But I think definitely someone else could win pretty easily, but just have to wait and see.
It's going to be a good feature tomorrow night. That's for sure. It's going to be a good feature tonight. But yeah, tomorrow's going. I think it's probably going to be one of the better chili bowls in a while. Not that any of them are bad, but you get what I'm saying. Tomorrow's going to be pretty good. But
yeah.
All right, man. Let's talk about we're supposed to be concentrate on getting you some PR and try to get you some sponsorship for this year. So let's move away from the Chili Bowl for a minute, Sheldon. And I know we talked about it in the preview show, but let's talk about what your 2014 plans are. What you're on the sponsorship hunt to help you do.
Well, yeah, just looking for some sponsorship help for our family-owned 93 car, and plan is to run the All-Star schedule with my dad and as many outlaw races as I can, and just kind of stick to an All-Star outlaw schedule and some local shows if I can't find the help. So would love to be able to go race with my dad, and definitely think I can win some All-Star races this year for sure, and looking forward to getting out there and racing even just a little bit if that's all I can.
And how do people get a hold of you, Sheldon, if there's a potential sponsor out there that wants to slide you some money, man? How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can go to hotandchillracing.com, and my mom's email's on there, and on Twitter or Facebook at Hot and Chilled Racing.
Okay, now there was a picture, a couple pictures that I seen posted on Facebook that I want to ask you about. The first one was of you and your dad, and somebody snapped a picture of you guys kind of lifting the cover on your car on Wednesday night and kind of peeking around at it. What were you guys doing in that picture, man? Do you know the picture I'm talking about, first of all, I guess?
Yeah, I know what one you're talking about.
Okay. You guys were on the right front of the car. Was there something that maybe you seen in racing that night that you were kind of looking over, or was that just a generic picture?
We were just kind of looking at some of the little stuff on there. On midgets, we were just looking at the coil shocks, and sprint cars, you don't really run coil shocks, and we're just checking it out, looking at some of the other small stuff.
Gotcha, man. I just thought it was a really cool picture, of you and your dad right there, and it just kind of captured the moment, you know what I mean, of kind of like the passing of the torch, in a way. That's what I got out of it. I really like that photo. And then last night I seen one posted of you, and like I said, I'm not sure who took it, and I'm sorry about not being able to give props to who took these pictures, but there's one of you sitting in your car, and it's kind of a close up, and you got this big smile on your face, man. You look just like your dad sitting in the cockpit. Has anybody said that to you before?
Yeah, I think right before that picture was taken, I think someone, I don't know who it was, said, told my dad it looks like your twin sitting in there.
Oh wow, that's exactly what I thought when I seen the picture, Sheldon. That's what burned it into my brain. Is I was like, wow, man, this is like if somebody was to turn that black and white, it could be passed off. You know what I mean? As an old picture. But at any rate, do you ever get tired of the comparisons like that? I mean, coming from your dad being as popular as he is and his success that he has had, do you ever find it hard to stand out on your own?
No, not at all. I mean, I don't mind, and definitely can't be disappointed in being compared to my dad. So if I can just keep that up, then I should be all right.
I think you're exactly correct, man. And it's probably pretty much just us media folks that want to throw that comparison up there, isn't it? You can go ahead and throw me under the bus. It's all right, man.
Nah, I get it from a lot of people.
All right, man. All right, Sheldon. We're going to get ready to get out of here. So I want you to take a minute and tell everybody who's helping you out here at the Chili Bowl this week, and who you've got on board, if anybody, so far for the 2014 season, man.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Bernie at Indy Race Parts, Creative Renovations, Triple X, Butler Built, Simpson, Dave and Buster's. Those are all the people helping us for Chili Bowl. And for 2014 with our sprint car, Butler Built, Simpson, Triple X, definitely my mom and dad, Ham Signs, Creative Renovations, and everyone else who helps us out.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Anybody else you want to give a shout out to you out there in Radio Land today, Sheldon?
No.
All right, man. I keep trying to get you to throw a girl's name out there or something, man, but I can't bait you into it. You're smarter than I am about that. All right, man. Sheldon, I really appreciate you doing everything, man. I appreciate you getting up early this morning and doing this after racing hard last night, man. I really, really do. I know it's a pain in the butt to do these interviews like this, when you're trying to concentrate on doing what you're doing. So just a big, huge thumbs up to you, man. And I really, like I said, I really appreciate it, brother.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
All right, man, we're going to leave you alone tomorrow. You're going to be busy. All you racers out there are going to be busy tomorrow with the alphabet soup, and it's money day, and I personally don't want to throw any distractions in the way. So the next time we'll talk to you will be on Sunday, and so I just want to tell you, man, good luck. Hope you make it through. Race hard, race smart, be safe, but keep at least the right rear on the ground, brother.
I'll try.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later, Sheldon. Good luck, brother.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Ever hire, never quit. Lofty goals in this age of shoddy quality, corporate indifference, and built-in obsolescence. It's a beacon of light in a crowded field of mediocrity. The way a company is run is an indication of how you, the customer, is going to be treated. You have a lot of choices when you're searching for auto and performance parts online and at the corner parts store. So why should you buy from Excelsior Racing? Because they're simply the best online parts supplier in the business. If you're looking for selection, ease of ordering, cost, and prompt delivery, look no further. If you have a question, our customer service hotline, staffed by knowledgeable gearheads like you, will ensure that you get what you need to fix or mod your car or truck. With 1,000 suppliers, you're guaranteed to get what you need. First time, every time. Excelsior Racing. Excellence on the track. Excellence on the road. Excellence in customer service. Online at ExcelsiorRacing.com or call 502-909-2034.
And we're back on the Indy Race Parts 2014 Chili Bowl Spotlight Show. Brought to you by On the Cushion Media Group, Burning Rubber Radio on the Performance Motorsports Network. Shane, I got that out without tongue-tying today. What do you think about that, Mr. Golbick?
That was very well done right there. I don't think I could do it.
You know what? I think yesterday, wasn't our deal yesterday, wasn't it 2 takes on the beginning there or something? So, at any rate, it is what it is. All right, man. Not much going on with you. You had a kind of just a day to kind of look around and see what's going on, man. I'm hearing that we've seen 3 different tracks out there this week. What's your take on that, brother?
Yeah, it was another good racetrack last night. As far as being racy in 2 different lanes, and you could run the top or bottom, and it got real racy pretty early in the night. And obviously there was plenty of passing that could go on with, Kevin Swindell coming from the C main all the way up to finish 4th. So if you're good enough, there's definitely a way to get to the front, which is what we always want in a racetrack.
That's kind of been the story of the week, and I don't think I can remember in recent memory so many runs, and this has kind of been a topic you and I have been talking about all week long. I can't remember in recent history so many runs from the back to the front like we've seen this week. We've seen it every night this week. You were one of those.
Yep.
So it's kind of strange, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, with the caliber of cars that are here, it's not an easy thing to go from the back to the front. And you've seen at least, 1 or 2 guys on each night have been able to do it. And, sometimes more than 2 guys who have been able to do it. So it shows that the racetrack's been good, and if your car's good enough and you make the right decisions on the track, you can get yourself to the front. And you don't really have to worry about starting towards the rear of anything. And, it's a good feeling as a driver.
No doubt. Did you see anything different last night that you're going to be paying attention to tonight in preparations for tomorrow, Shane?
No, it was kind of a typical Chili Bowl racetrack last night. It looked like the top was pretty much, the top was a little bit better than it was on my night on Wednesday from an earlier point in the night. And it seemed like Chris Bell was able to rail that top the whole night, pretty much every time he hit the track. And, he came out on top. So I've been kind of watching, seeing how everybody runs the top. Everyone's got their own little different way of running the cushion. So, trying to pick up on little things they do there. And then the bottom was pretty good, too. It's real slow down there, but, shorter way around the track so you can make up time down there, too. So typical Chili Bowl track, I think, every night. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
You brought up he's a really good friend of the show, man. We've been following him for probably 1.5 years, 2 years now on the Cushion Media Group and Burning Rubber Radio, Chris Bell. He flexed some serious muscle in that Coons car last night. How long? It's been a while since we've seen somebody come from the tail of the heat to win their heat. That's not been done in a while. But in the feature, man, he had it under control, hands down. Until they got in traffic. You know what I mean? And Damien.
Yeah.
Damien, tried, come after him, called up to him, but, Chris was able to stretch it out. Did you see something with the Coons cars last night, maybe that we haven't seen in years past, or that who do you think, other than you? I know you got it, it's in your mind that you're the man to beat, and every racer feels like that. But taking you out of it, Shane, who's flexing the most muscle out there that this week, in your opinion? So far, now
really good.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so far there's gonna be some great cars going tonight. I know Brian Clausen goes tonight, and he looks really good in the Race Champions the other day. So I think he's so far throughout the week, just a little bit I've seen of him, he's gonna be tough to beat for sure. Chris Bell last night obviously showed he's gonna be tough to beat. And then what can you say about Kevin Swindell? I mean, he had that heartbreaker in the heat race, got a flat tire, and then he came from the back of the seed transfer, the back of the Vita transfer, and then back of the main up to 4th, almost had 3rd on Pickens, but his side job, he wasn't quite able to make it stick. But he's always the usual suspect to win here, and he made sure last night everyone knows he's definitely still one of the ones to beat. So you're gonna have to be able to beat all those guys, and also Larson, Sammy. There's a lot of good cars here. A lot of different guys could win, so that's for sure.
There is, and you're right. There's a lot of good cars going off tonight. There is a bunch of them tonight. It's every night out there stacked. It's kind of like the same comment every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Want to just a couple more racing questions, and if you don't mind, I'd like to spend a couple minutes on personal and get some things out there that maybe the fans wouldn't normally learn about you. But I seen a video. I actually happened upon a video. Somebody posted a video of Wednesday night's action when you ran. And I actually got to see quite a bit of you on the track. And so I'm trying to remember who it was now. I should have wrote this down. Somebody fed you a big slider in the feature, and I can't remember who it was now. Maybe you'll recall it, but somebody fed you a slider, and it kind of goes back to what you and I were talking about the whole JJ Rico deal, about picking and choosing, and that is what actually entered my mind when I seen that clip, or that section in the video. I thought, man, that is exactly what he told me about picking and choosing your battles, out at the Chili Bowl, on preliminary nights. Do you remember that slider?
Yeah, there's a couple of them actually. I don't know which one you might have seen, but I know there was one from I believe it was the nine car of Parker Price Miller, who kind of came out of nowhere and threw a slider that was not going to clear, and I had to grab some brakes, and he actually still clipped his rear bumper on my front bumper, and I was able to. I just tried to blow up the car a little bit, let him slide up and up towards the fence, and then I just kind of diamonded it back off, right back underneath them, and drove away from him. So. That one was, that one was kind of a not the best move he could have made, but it didn't end up hurting us. And then there was a few laps there where I was battling with Brad Kuhn. He threw, I got to hand it to him. He raced me clean, and I tried to race him as clean as I could too. And he threw a couple sliders at me, and I'd lift, I'd give him the room, and I'd try to cross him back over and slide him in the next corner. And we did that a few times, traded sliders back and forth, and we were able to come out on top of that battle. But yeah, that's definitely something that we've seen a lot of this week, is a lot of slide jobs with how the cushion's building up way up towards the fence up high on the racetrack. So there's plenty of room for slide jumps.
There was in the video that I saw too, there was real clear at the end. You could see what happened with JJ and Rico, and I don't want to really spend a whole lot of time talking about that, but it was real clear what happened, and the assessment that you gave us yesterday on that, yeah, it's spot on, man. From the information that you were given, it was spot on. It was a racing deal. One car ran out of room and probably should have lifted and didn't. So I didn't know if you've seen that video or not. You know what I mean? I was just kind of trying to let you know that what you've been told is pretty much spot on.
Yeah, I ended up after our interview, I was able to see the video, and what Kyle told me the day before was, that's what I saw too. So
I agree.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame either of them. I mean, it's just hard racing out here. Well, every spot means something, but there's got to be a point where you kind of smart up a little bit and just let one spot go instead of trying to force the issue and losing 20 spots. A
feature on Saturday night. Perfect. Preliminary night.
Yeah.
Not so much, man. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Shane. We've spent a lot of time with you this week, and I know we're running out of things to talk about with, you only running one, being able to race one night out there. Let's cross over into some personal stuff. We've kind of touched on a little bit of that stuff, and we've talked about you being a California kid and you're not the surfer type and things like that. But something just entered my mind before we had this phone call today. What kind of music you listen to?
I'm pretty much a fan of everything. I mean, I was raised, my family mostly likes country music, but I pretty much I'm pretty open to everything. I mean, there's even some rap songs that I don't mind. I mean, that's not really my favorite type of music, but I pretty much listen to anything from old stuff to new stuff. Pretty much anything that sounds good, I'll listen to.
Now, when I was racing, I always had this certain CD. Actually, back in my day, it was cassette tapes. I always had this tape or CD, and all the way up till 2011. The CD's sitting right here on my desk. And there's a certain playlist that I have on there of songs. That CD went in the radio on the way to the track every time I was going to race. Do you have anything like that? Do you have a playlist that gets you fired up, or maybe one in particular song that you try to listen to on race day or right before you get in the car or anything? You know what I'm saying? Any superstitious kind of things before you get in the car?
No, I mean, as far as songs, I'm a big Pandora guy, so I have a bunch of different of my I guess they call it custom radio stations on there, and then I just hit shuffle, and it gives me a different song from a different genre, a bunch back to back. So, I mean, that's pretty much what I do there. I don't really have many favorite songs, but I got a lot of songs that I really like. So Pandora does a good job of mixing them all up for me. And then as far as superstitions, the only thing I really do is I always, put all my gear and stuff on in the same order. I guess that's kind of, I don't know. I guess that's probably pretty standard for most people. But if I don't put it in the right order, I gotta, take it back off and put it back on in the right order. It's just kind of a mind deal for me.
No, I'm with you there, man. I'm with you there. It's got to, and it's got to be the same. I always wore the same. Are you like me? You have to have the same. The same. I want to say underwear, man, but that's not what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? The same. I wore Under Armour under my suit, but the same shorts, the same shirt, same socks, same everything. Are you like that, or I mean, washed, of course. You know what I mean? But are you like that? Or do you have to? And when that wears out, do you need the same brand again?
Yeah, I've got some of the stuff that I've been using for a long time, and I like to use, stuff that, because I got a couple different sets of each of my things, so I don't have to do laundry during the week, especially at like a place like this where you're on 3 nights. I've pretty much brought 3 sets of everything, so I'm just ready to go. But then I make sure everything that I have on each night matches, and it's supposed to be together, and then. And just keeping everything in order helps you make sure you it's almost like a checklist, making sure you got everything ready to go for the track when you're out there, and make sure you got, everything hooked up, and you're as safe as can be.
My wife always used to make fun of me about that, because I always give her a hard time about the makeup and getting out the door, and, that whole, I'll be ready in 5 minutes, and half hour later. But on race day, it was exactly opposite, man. So jump back to the superstition thing real quick. A lot of us old guys, it's green, 13, and peanuts. Is it still that way with you young guys?
Yeah, I mean, to an extent. I don't know about the green. I don't know if I believe much in that. I mean, Steve Kinser won an awful lot of races in green, and I guess, if it works for somebody in their mind, then more power to them. But to me, I'm not real superstitious that way. And then peanuts, I don't know. We always have sunflower seeds in our pit, but not so much peanuts. But that kind of thing. I feel like we've got control over the things that happen on the racetrack. And I don't think those things really, the color of the car or what you eat before. Really has much to do with it.
That's cool. Now, this line of questioning is getting you ready for your NASCAR career, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I just had to throw it in there. You know what I mean? I seen a picture on Facebook a couple days ago of you standing with a very nice-looking young lady. Who was that?
That's my girlfriend, Shelby. I've been with her for a pretty long time now, and she's out here at the Chili Bowl with us this week having some fun. It's her first time here, and it's quite a spectacle coming here. And she's been a racer all her life too. Her brother races out at that Watsonville Speedway out there in California with me, and she's been around racing all her life. So she's pretty stoked being here at this place with all the race cars in one building, and just watching the races here. It's so loud in this building, you just feel it in your chest when they go around, and she's having a blast.
I got that out of that video last night. You know what I mean? That was kind of what's been missing for me this week, and even on the pay-per-views, the sound wasn't quite like that video that I watched last night. And it's something to behold out there, that's for sure. All right, man, we're going to get ready to get out of here. We've been bugging the hell out of you this week, Shane, and once again, man, you don't know how much I appreciate it, and I know your fans out there appreciate it. If we've hit that time, and I ask you every day, but you know damn well these people deserve it, man. So spit them out there, buddy. Who's writing checks?
Yeah, Doug Buck and Fred Hubbard. Obviously, they're getting the 26 and the 62 car out there. I got to throw a little shout out to Taylor Seamus last night too. He had a little bit of a rough night going. He had found himself in the B main, and about halfway through the B main, he really wasn't making a whole lot of progress. And then there's yellow that come out. And, I think he just decided to kind of snug the belts down a little bit and just get up on the top and rip it. And he drove around Ricky Stenhouse and a couple other guys and got up to third and transferred. It was pretty cool to watch. So I was pretty stoked for him, being my teammate and everything. He did an awesome job, and I think he'll be somewhere in like a C main on Saturday. So, to have both of our cars in the B and C from a local California team is pretty cool. So. Got to give him a little shout out, and then just got to thank everybody else who's supported me over the years for sure, and all the people back home listening to this. Hope it makes them feel a little bit like they're like they know what's going on. So
I'm
happy to do this every day.
That's cool, man. I really appreciate that, and I know that they the fans out there do too, and that's what we're trying to do is give a little different insight, that normally people wouldn't get. I guess I got a couple more questions for you, Shane, if you got time, and they're kind of quickies, man. So it's kind of one of them's kind of on the shout out list, and I know Kay Rashaw down there at Bill McAnally Racing, she's been paying attention to these shows this week and listening to you and giving the thumbs up and things like that. So, I guess it's more of a rhetorical thing than anything. We want to give a shout out to them. And so the last question before I let you get out of here for the day, man, is you brought up Ricky Stenhouse, and it brought up a photograph that I seen posted around on Facebook yesterday of him and Danica Patrick standing around, and I think BC was Brian Clausen was standing there, and Ross Weiss from the World Outlaws and some things. But how's that make you feel, man? You're trying to get into the pavement stuff and obviously earn a paycheck racing, and that's what I call it. Instead of moving up levels, I call it earning a paycheck racing, man. But how's that make you feel, man, to see, like Danica and Ricky and Tony and, JJ and, of course, JJ's been around our area, and Tony for that matter too. But you understand what I'm saying. How's it feel to see these people walking around and you're out there racing against some of them and they're where you want to be?
It's pretty cool. I mean, it's crazy how how crowded it can get around, especially last night with Danica being there. And, a lot of people kind of gather around and take pictures and everything. But then after that, after the commotion's all over, it seems like they kind of just leave them alone, like with Tony and Casey Kane and all those guys. Like it's a little bit of a crowd at first, but then all the dirt community kind of realizes that they don't need all that attention here. They're just trying to come out here, watch some dirt racing, and relax and have fun. And it's cool to see people kind of give them their space so they can just kind of be just a normal fan and not have to deal with people coming up every couple minutes to try to get autographs and everything. But and then at the end of the night, they'll set up a little table, especially Tony. He'll be here all night signing autographs for people, giving back to the dirt community. So it's pretty cool to see them here, and it's cool to, see them here and just, kind of look forward to maybe being like that someday, just kind of getting up to their level. And yeah, like you said, kind of earning a paycheck so you can come out and do your dirt racing whenever you want.
Yeah, that it's almost kind of getting back to remember the day, well, you're kind of young, but I know the history. Getting back to the days of the Foyts and the Rutherfords and the Unsers and and the list goes on and on, barnstorming the country. We're starting to see more and more of, the guys and girls that come from the dirt backgrounds like that made it, and they're coming back more and more often here, over the last few years, and it's an awesome thing to see. And you've nailed it, Shane, in your answer. 99% of the time they're left alone at these dirt tracks and dirt races, and they're just another racer as far as most of us are concerned. So when you take the fan aspect out, it's more of a relaxation thing for them than anything, I would think. But at any rate, man. All right, Shane, we're going to leave you alone tomorrow, man, so you and your team can concentrate on what you guys got to do tomorrow, man. Tomorrow's going to be a long, long day out in Tulsa. You're going to be sitting around quite a bit waiting before you get going, man. But like I said, we're going to leave you alone tomorrow, unless you have a hell of a night tomorrow night, and then I'm going to bug the hell out of you. I'm going to burn that phone up about 30 minutes after that race tomorrow, man. So I want to get another one of those Kern County type interviews with you, man.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I can make that happen, and you can bug me all you want, and I'll do my best to answer.
All right, man. We'll catch up with you again on Sunday on our wrap-up show. And to any of the Shane Golbick fans or any of our featured racers this week, Sunday will be our last show in talking to these guys for the Chili Bowl. So if you guys have any questions that haven't been asked and answered this week, send them in either on the Dirty Dan Facebook page, on the Cushion Media Group, Burning Rubber Radio, Performance Motorsports Network. I mean, Shane Golbick's page, his racing page, his mom Tammy's page, wherever. Just get them posted, and we'll be sure to ask them. I'll kind of filter through them, but I won't be real PC about it, man. And as long as they're above board, man, I'll ask questions to them. We'll get your answers to the questions you fans out there want. So other than that, Shane, man, good luck, brother. Enjoy the racing tonight. Stay safe. race hard, race smart, and keep at least the right rear on the ground Saturday, brother.
All right, sounds good.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, Shane. And there you have it, Mr. Shane Golbick, California boy out there at the Chili Bowl, man. He's going to try to better that 7th place finish that he had in 2013 on Saturday night. And you can catch him again here Sunday on the Performance Motorsports Network, Burning Rubber Radio on the cushion. And we'll be right back after these messages.
If you're a gearhead, you probably go online to those hot rod superstores, drooling over the chrome and speed goodies until you find just the right item for your muscle car, tuner car, truck. But what do you do when it comes to fixing the mom mobile? If you're like most do-it-yourselfers, you head to the strip mall parts store and talk to the "Do you want fries with that?" kid behind the counter. Hold on, Bunky. Did you stop to think where those chain stores are getting the parts that you're installing in the vehicle that's used to transport your family everywhere? They get the cheapest suppliers they can find to sell you the parts at bargain prices. Their limited lifetime warranties? What a joke. Remember the last time Mom's car broke down? You heard about that one for weeks. Don't take that chance again. Excelsior Racing has the quality parts you need for your family vehicle. Parts that you can install knowing you're getting the best for your family. Excelsior Racing. Quality parts, personalized service, affordable pricing, fast to you direct. Excelsior Racing. Online at excelsiorracing.com or call 502-909-2034.
All right, we're back on the Indy Race Parts 2014 Chili Bowl National Spotlight Show, brought to you by On the Cushion Media Group, Burning Rubber Radio, on the Performance Motorsports Network. And I have caught up with somebody here at the end of the show today that basically, I'll just be honest here, man. He's saving my butt today is what he's doing. I'm a little short for the show, so I throwed out a text message. And my old buddy Spencer Baston is bailing me out today, man. How you doing, Spencer? And thanks for doing this, brother.
Oh, no problem. Just hanging out here at the Chili Bowl, about to go to the track and just finish having lunch. So
now, I you and I discussed last week when we talked that you were going out there, and we did plan to get together. We just didn't know what day it would be, so today or tomorrow. But you're going to be on tomorrow's show too with Chris Bell and Chris Wyndham, and maybe a few other surprise guests. But today, for today's show, let's just kind of keep it light and keep it sweet. When did you get out to Tulsa, brother?
we just got out here yesterday. We drove down right after class on Wednesday, and about halfway through the trip, and then finished it yesterday morning. Got here a little for lunch, and was able to see some hot lap sessions and see the cars run. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. drove last night for Brian, and so we got to watch him. And it was really cool. It's an exciting place and a lot of people here, so it's a cool deal.
Now let's touch on that. We put out the promo video for you, interview. I guess not video, but audio interview earlier this week about your announcement that you're going to be racing for Brian Clausen Racing next year in the Power I Midget Racing Series, and that's actually who you're out there with this week. You're kind of hanging around with BC, and he fires off tonight. He runs his preliminary night tonight. What's it been like for you, man? Is this your first Chili Bowl?
Yeah, this is my first Chili Bowl. I've been to the shootout, but I haven't seen any midgets run on this track. But yeah, getting to hang out with Brian and Al and Tim and all those guys, and watching Dylan and Peyton Pierce run, it's a lot of fun. So I'm excited to see Brian run tonight and see how he does. And Christopher Bell won it last night, and he did a great job, and they put on a great show, and the track was pretty good all night. So I'm excited again for tonight to see what happens.
That'll work, man. In our interview later this afternoon for tomorrow's show, we'll talk about some of the differences between the shootout and the Chili Bowl. We got time for maybe one or two more questions, man. You give such good answers, and I talk so much, man. We run out of time pretty quick. But tell me about when you walked into the building and you walked up to the Brian Clausen Racing. Well, I guess Joey Saldana's in what I guess will be your car next year, or a team car to what you're going to be in next year. And Brian's in somebody else's car. But tell me what you thought about seeing that 39 sitting there that's going to say Baston across the eyebrow next year, but it says Saldana out of Chili Bowl this week. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, it's cool. To be able to say that Joey Saldana is running the car I'll be driving next year is really cool. All their cars are spot on. Al and Brian and all those guys do a great job of getting them ready and getting them set up, and they're sharp looking cars. They're real fast. I mean, Al is real knowledgeable on setting these cars up. So they're always good cars, and just feel like
that's awesome, man. I can only imagine how big
is driving one of my cars. And
I can only imagine how big your eyeballs were when you walked into the building and actually seen. I mean, you've been there before. The shootout's a little different than the Chili Bowl, and the names and things like that. But I can only imagine how you felt, walking up to that car, knowing that that's your car and Joey Saldana's in it. All right, Spencer, we're going to get ready to get out of here. Like I said, we're going to talk to you later this afternoon. You're going to be on our special Chili Bowl show tomorrow on Saturday, and we're going to get an extended period of time of talking to you then for tomorrow's show. So everybody tune in and listen to that. Spence, I want to ask you a question, man. Who's writing the bills? Have you had any luck on the sponsor hunt since we talked last week?
Not too much. We haven't, since we've been so busy out here hanging out. And when we get back home, we'll really start to work on that and see what we can do. Like I said before, we've had a little bit of small talk, but nothing official yet. So we'll get working on that, and hopefully we can see what we can get.
All right, let everybody out there know if there's any sponsors out there that may want to throw some money your way. Let everybody know out there how they get a hold of Spencer and Brett Baston.
The easiest way would probably be go on my website, spencerbaston.com, and there's a comment link or a contact link where you can submit your message or whatever. It'll go through to my email, and I can get back to you real fast, or you can email me at spencer@spencerbaston.com, or my dad, Brett, at spencerbaston.com. And we'll get back with you real quick on that.
All right, Spence, we got to get out of here now. We've run up against the clock, and I really appreciate you bailing me out on this, man. I was, like I said, we was about 5 or 6 minutes short on the show today, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to give Spence a call. You were eating, you shoveled that food down your throat, and you said, okay, I'm ready to go, Dirty Dan. Let's do this, man. And I really appreciate it, man. And for everybody out there, Spencer's one of our blacklisted promotion 2014 featured drivers. He joins Norm Benning, Patrick Spoli. I don't know. The list goes on and on, man. We're going to be releasing more and more of those drivers' names here in the next few weeks. But you can catch him out. You can check everything out. We're going to be putting more information up about Spencer on the Blacklisted Promotions page, on the Cushion Media Group, Burning Rubber Radio, and the Performance Motorsports Network. So, Spence, get to the track, man, and check things out. And we'll talk to you this afternoon. And I'm going to be asking you some pretty serious questions this afternoon. Can you handle it, brother?
I'll try my best.
I know you can handle it, man. Don't try to bullcrap me, man. I know you're good at this PR media stuff. So, all right, Spence, you have a good day, and we'll talk to you later this afternoon, brother.
All right, thanks a lot, Dan.
All right, and there you have it. One of our 2014 Blacklisted Promotions featured drivers hanging out at Tulsa with Brian Clausen and Brian Clausen Racing, checking out his ride that Joey Saldana is keeping the seat warm in out at the Chili Bowl this year. So we'll be back, right after these messages, I think.
Ever hire, never quit. Lofty goals in this age of shoddy quality, corporate indifference, and built-in obsolescence. It's a beacon of light in a crowded field of mediocrity. The way a company is run is an indication of how you, the customer, is going to be treated. You have a lot of choices when you're searching for auto and performance parts online and at the corner parts store. So why should you buy from Excelsior Racing? Because they're simply the best online parts supplier in the business. If you're looking for selection, ease of ordering, cost, and prompt delivery, look no further. If you have a question, our customer service hotline, staffed by knowledgeable gearheads like you, will ensure that you get what you need to fix or mod your car or truck. With 1,000 suppliers, you're guaranteed to get what you need. First time, every time. Excelsior Racing. Excellence on the track. Excellence on the road. Excellence in customer service. Online at ExcelsiorRacing.com or call 502-909-2034.